And before we get into why this can happen and why it may happen more than people realize, medically speaking, a lot of people are wondering, okay, how can a baby die from this?
So generally speaking, you can have two scenarios. Number one, mom isn't making enough milk. And in case number two, the baby isn't latching on appropriately. So you actually worked very closely with the lactation consultants there. And in Jillian's case, she simply wasn't making enough milk. And the thing is, I think it was perhaps the culture of the hospital you were at, just that they were so focused on breastfeeding that perhaps some of the signs that the baby gave off were dismissed a little.
Well, let's talk about that, because Dr. Christie, I know this is something very personal for you, and breastfeeding is wonderful, but if this is happening to more and more women, what can we do about it? And tell us about your own personal involvement in this mission.
Well, my foundation started when my own son went through the exact same thing. I was a professional, I was an attending physician by that time. I read all the books and attended the breastfeeding classes just like Jill. And we had the same exact story, but I was an emergency physician. And I knew that my child had starved, was hypoglycemic, had low blood sugar, and I knew how to get him back, which was to feed him, force feed him a bottle. And so my child survived. And I wrote the authorities saying, this is not safe. Why are mothers being sent home believing that there's always enough breast milk as long as you put them to the breast? It's not correct. It's not biologically true. And so I started the foundation because I wanted to reach out to mothers and tell them what are the realities of breastfeeding. Sometimes there's not enough milk. And it's very important to know what the signs are. If your child is crying nonstop, if they're nursing nonstop, those are signs that they're not getting enough milk. So it's not a matter of having more support or having more staff or office visits. It's a matter of teaching every single mom what the signs are so that they can give their child life and brain-saving supplementation when they need it, at home, at any time, because you're the mom. There's no one else who's gonna protect your child as well as you can.
I actually applaud both of you for sharing your stories, because we can help raise awareness. And for additional resources on this topic and to learn more about Fed is Best, head to our website, thedoctorstv.com. Thank you both so very much.